everybody, this is Abigail Ockwell here, and today we are doing a WIP and chat. Now, as you can see, I don't have a diamond painting, but I've got a cross stitch. Don't mind that, that was just the lizard. He decided he wanted to come out. I've already tried to film this video once, and he was making a rather lot of noise, so I thought, what the heck, I'll bring him out and he can have a little scurry around. So if you hear any funny noises in the background, that's probably him. So this cross stitch kit comes to us from the Frosted Pumpkin Stichery, and I will link that in the description. This particular pattern I'm doing was their sale, or their stitch along for last year, and it is the Chinese Zodiac. Currently I'm working in the corner, well, in one of the corners. This is, I know this doesn't look like much at the moment, but this is going to be a fan, and there's some back stitching. At the moment, like I say, it doesn't look like a whole load, but it will look a lot better when it's done. And of course, when I've done this, I will do a post review. I hope you enjoyed my post review that popped up yesterday. That was fun to film. So that was edited today and everything. So I will be answering some more tag questions, but I'm using my tablet, so I've had to write the questions that I want to use down. So because I'm using an app on my tablet called Pattern Keeper, and that's normally where I would do my questions. I would read my questions from. I don't want to be constantly skipping between questions, cross stitching, because that's just gonna be a nightmare, and we're gonna be here all day. And quite frankly, I don't think any of us have the time or patience to sit with me all day. I mean, that'd be nice, but yeah, I really don't think that would be a good idea. I do hope you can see what I'm doing. So, right, let's get into these tag questions. Oh, I will also pop the link to these tag questions in the description below, as well as everything else I'm using in this video. So for anyone that's curious, I got the full kit from the Frosted Pumpkin Stichery last year. Okay, so Lizard's gone. It's running around. Has run across something. I'll have to, it's probably gone into one of his favourite places, and thankfully I do know where all those are in my room, so I will find him after this video. So don't worry, he's perfectly safe. There's nothing that can harm him in this room, unless Misty's in here and I'm not keeping a close eye. But when they're having interactions, I make sure that I'm in the room when they are having their interactions. So let's get into these tag questions. Question 1. How do you spell the word grey? Do you spell it G-R-E-Y or G-R-A-Y? So over here, we spell grey G-R-E-Y. I am assuming that the spelling G-R-A-Y is the American spelling, because I know they spell things differently to us over here. One example of that is the word colour. I think they don't have the U in it, and we do, but I can't remember. Or the U's in a different place. It's something like that. So I would also assume that if you did come across the spelling grey with A-Y and not E-I, I would probably also assume that might be considered the spelling of a last name, but I'm not sure. So yeah, answer that down in the comments. How do you spell the word grey? I don't know what he's doing over there. He's doing something. Maybe it would have been better just to keep me the 5th. Oh well. Never mind. Things happen. So, next question. Okay. I know where he is now. I've just seen him. He's right by my door. Sorry. Question 2. Do you have a whole load of acquaintances or just a few friends? I would probably say I have just a few friends, to be honest. Now when I say friends, I would say people that I talk to a lot. I do have quite a few people as friends on Facebook, but they're not really friends, as it were. Quite a few of them are from primary school, and I haven't spoken to them in years. But no, it is nice to see. That's one of the joys of Facebook. It is nice to see people that you went to school with, see what they're doing. One thing I do find scary, well, when I was growing up, I did find scary, is I think I was about 15 at the time, and there was a girl that I went to school with, and she already had 2 kids. And I was like, oh my good gravy. Now, I was always taught in that department, if you can't be good, be careful, because otherwise it is just kids having kids. And that's always what my parents have said, and I do agree with them on that. You know, not that I'm against, you know, young parents, but if say you do have a kid quite young, under the age of consent, wherever that may be in your country. Ours is 16. I'm in America, I think it's 18, but I'm not sure. I know their age of consent is a lot lower than ours. However, if you go to the Vatican City, the age of consent over there is 12. So that is pretty crazy. But like I say, if say you're a young parent or a teen parent and you can handle it, then good on you. Go for it. You're rocking being a parent. But obviously for some people it is a bit of a culture shock. I know certainly when I have kids I'm going to be like, oh my god. At first I'll probably be thinking, oh my gosh, what do I do with this baby? But probably after a few weeks I'll hopefully get the hang of it. I mean, I look after animals, for God's sake. The amount of animals that we have in our house is insane. So that brings me on to my next question. Do you have any pets? Yeah. So we have 2 cats. Midnight, who is our older cat and is black. Misty, or her full name Mistopheles, from T.S. Eliot's Book of Practical Cats. That's where we got her name from. Who you saw on stream when who you saw on video when I was unboxing my diamond art clubs. And then we have Erwin, my adorable, how old is he now? Oh my gosh. Yep, my adorable 7-year-old bearded dragon cheese. That's weird. It's weird. 7. That he's 7. I really can't believe that. It's honestly, time goes by so quick. So when as you know, we saw Middy when she was days old and, well, hours old, and it's kind of seeing the change of when you first got them to when they're like, when they've grown up. It's insane. still remember when we first got Erwin, he was 6 months old, so he was probably about that biggish. Probably bigger, probably more that big. Now he's like that big. So yeah, he's a big boy, and he's great. I love him. But also, when I got Erwin, I took him to the vets just to get him checked out, make sure everything is okay, because they say I was a new reptile mum, never had reptiles before. And the first thing that the vet said when I got Erwin there, because I got him from a pet store chain, and the first thing that he said was, "This is one of the healthier specimens I've seen from this chain." And so that made me worry, hearing that he'd seen others that, you know, weren't in good condition. So I feel quite lucky. But with Erwin, he is stunted. I won't lie, he is stunted. He's probably under average for a male bearded dragon of his age. He hasn't really completely sorted out, which is what he should have done. But, you know, he's doing well. He doesn't appear to really be affected by it, so we just kind of take every day as it comes. And he's just running around at the moment near my bed. The fiance's side is quite messy, so he's kind of on that side of the bed. Don't worry, I am keeping an eye on him as well as recording. Oh, now he's on the laundry basket. There we go. So he's probably just gonna sit there now for a bit. Do you have a best friend? If so, then who? So my best friend's name is, I have mentioned her before, is my friend Robin. We've known each other since high school, secondary school, whatever middle school is called for you. And, you know, we've been through a lot. I think he's going to get into trouble. Please don't. Oh my gosh. Of course he's going to get into trouble. Excuse me one moment. There we go. There we go. So back from my rescue mission, it wasn't that much of a palaver. So when he's out, I have to cover his live food, because bearded dragons, they do eat bugs and insects. So I have to cover them to make sure that he doesn't try and attack the tub that they're in. And there was a little bit that was exposed, so he tried to get in. But we've saved him, so that's all right. So I was going on about my best friend Robin. Like I say, we've been through everything. We have had fallings out. We've kind of had times where we haven't spoken for a really long time, and then when we've met up or got back together, me and her, it's just, you know, it's crazy. She's like a sister to me. She really is like a sister to me. I'm older than her, but she's bigger than me, so she is basically my, like, a younger, bigger sister to me, if that makes sense. And I'm back. So sorry, I just had to change my floss out there, seeing as I'd run to the end. So I was going on about Robin. Like I say, me and her, we've done so much together, and, you know, it's just so great having her as a friend. I am so blessed that even after all these years, we're still as close as we were in secondary school. Somehow, when we get together, we always end up reverting to our secondary school days. So we'll be having a conversation, a normal conversation, then all of a sudden randomly we'll just be like, oh, do you remember that time in school when? And I'll be like, oh yeah, and then this happened, and then that happened. So probably one of the most interesting times with Robin was, I remember we were having a conversation. I think we'd just come from German. Yes, I did German in school. Don't ask me to repeat any of it because I don't really remember a whole load of German, in all fairness. So it was either German or Irish. It was one of the two. And on one of my backpacks, I used to have a oh no, you can't see what I'm doing, sorry about that. I used to have kind of an elastic thing where so say you were going hiking, you'd put it in like this mesh elastic thing. And we were having a conversation, don't know what we were having a conversation about, but the elastic, it got caught on part of the stair rail. And so there we are, having a nice conversation, and then all of a sudden, ping, I go pinging back. It was quite funny. I know me and Robin were laughing about it. But yeah, that wasn't the only time that happened. It happened a couple of times. We had this person we used to hang around with called Sky, and she would sometimes deliberately put that elastic around that particular stairwell, and so then I'd go pinging back. So yeah, that's definitely who I'd say is my best friend. Oh yes, also Robin is having a baby as well. I'm going to be godmother, so that's another kind of little chapter in the Abigail Ockwell and the Robin Jones history book. And she's got herself a lovely guy, a lovely American guy. He is trying to apply to come over here so that he can be here when the baby's born. And yeah, I really hope he gets to see the birth of his child, because that would just be brilliant for both of them. Okay, next question. Who was your first celebrity crush? I remember this very well, who my first celebrity crush is. So, obviously in America, you have American Idol. And that's really big over here. Oh, over there. Because you've got so many amazing people that have come out from that. So, obviously you've had Kelly Clarkson, Adam Lambert. Yep. Even though he didn't win it. He's yeah. I love Adam Lambert and his music, even though he's gay. And I don't care because, you know, Adam is Adam. And I have seen Adam in concert with Queen when he's been frontmanning Queen. That's really good. If you ever get the chance to go and see a Queen concert, go. And when I was like 5, I think, so in 2000, yeah, 2001, 2002, 2001, they tried to launch a similar program, but instead of being called American Idol, it was called Pop Idol. So of course you have Simon Cowell, who's the main judge, and there was Pete Waterman. I've forgotten who else was judging. It was a woman, I know that, but I can't remember her name, sorry. And they had a duo act that's really big over here. They're still going, called Ant and Dec, who were, oh my jeez, sorry. There we go. So they had this double act that hosted it. Actually, people in might have heard of them because they host I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. So there was Ant and Zach. That was, I think Pop Idol was one of them. No, CITV was their first presenting job. So they presented Pop Idol, and there was this contestant called Gareth Gates. Now, he was incredible. He is an incredible singer. I've seen him in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat when it was on the West End, and I've also seen him in Footloose when he did the tour in UK. When he was touring the UK, I saw him in Brighton in tight gold hot pants with the nothing else on. Oh yes, 5-year-old me would have been very happy to have seen that. I've also met Gareth Gates. I'll post a picture of me and Gareth in the description below. In the description in this video, sorry. And he had this terrible stutter. He had a stammer. But when he opened his mouth and sang, you couldn't tell he had a stammer at all. And, you know, he was so cute. I still think he's cute. Now, I think your first celebrity crush you kind of never really forget, in a way. And you always kind of have a little thing for him. So, yeah. Gareth Gates was my first ever celebrity crush, and then a certain supermodel ruined his career. But I'm not going to get into that, because if I get into that, I'm just going to rant about it, and that won't be very nice for anyone. Next question. Oh, yes. I remember this one. So, who would you tell first if you found a dead body in your garden? Right. First, I think if I found a dead body in my garden, I'd think, what the hell? Why is there a dead body in my garden? But I would probably call my future father-in-law, because he's in the police. I mean, yeah, would probably be the garden would be a crime scene for a bit, but that would probably be the first person I would call, because I'd be like, I'd just call him up and be like, Matt, I've got this dead body in my garden. What the hell do I do? Don't know how it's got there. And Mac has dealt with dead bodies before. There is this very funny story that I'm not going to repeat, but it involves a corpse and a skateboard. It's very funny. If I can get permission to tell that story, I will, but I won't tell it at the moment, just because I don't have his permission, and I don't want to get in any kind of trouble. So, next question. What is your star sign? So, I was born on November the 25th. So, I am a Sagittarius. One of my traits is creativity. And yeah, I would definitely say that my star sign does sum me up in quite a bit, just because I am always wanting to kind of create something, as it were. I can very rarely just sit and not do something creative all day. Sometimes I will just play video games. I usually play Pokemon, and I am a Pokemon card collector. I've backed off Pokemon card collecting for a while, just because it's expensive and I don't have the money at the moment, so because obviously I'm trying to save my money for a wedding. Yeah, I'm not the greatest with money, but I would definitely say I'm better than my fiance when it comes to money. He's not great with money. But anyway, I'm shutting up with that one. Sorry, Josh, I love you, but I think he would probably agree with me saying that he's not great with money, unfortunately. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad saying that. Next question. What is something that amazes you? I have to say, animals that can regenerate part of their body. So, for example, some lizards, skinks in particular, and some geckos as well, they can, if a predator attacks them, they can drop their tails and they'll grow back. Some lizard species can't regrow their tails. So bearded dragons, if they lose their tails, they can't regrow it. They are one of the lizard species that can't. It's also, salamanders are quite interesting because if they have a foot or something munched off by a predator, they can regrow that foot. They always look a little different than the original, and you can usually, if you look closely, you can usually tell if a limb has regrown or something. But I just think it's amazing how some animals have the ability to just regenerate something. I mean, honestly, if, say, someone cut my toe off and I could regrow my toe, that would be very useful. Or even a hand, regrowing a hand, that would be very useful. So I would have to say that is definitely something that amazes me. Animals that can regenerate parts of their body. What was the name of your first pet? So I'm gonna be a little bit cheeky and say a couple of names. So my first ever pets were goldfish. I had 2 goldfish called Finn and Gareth. Yes, I named a goldfish after Gareth Gates. And they were my first pets, but they did get boring after a while. But I would have to say that my first proper pet was my cat Honey. So when Honey went, she died surrounded by her family. So it was sad seeing her die, but she went the way she wanted to. And I'm honored that she chose us as her family. I always will be. This is the issue with fabric. If you get it caught when the edges have already been done, it can get very, very, very annoying in my mind. Just have to kind of cut it, or sometimes if you go through another side by accident and then you have to cut your card thread, and it's a whole hot mess, and it can get very, very, very annoying very quickly. But if I ever need a break from diamond painting, as I am now, I haven't actually diamond painted for a few days. I've de-kitted V already, and I've kitted up another one. That is actually, the one I've kitted up is for someone. I won't be showing it on the channel because it is a copyright image. It was one that I got off AliExpress. It is one of Maleficent, but it you can tell that it's ripped from Mandy Manzano, and I don't want to promote that on my channel. I really don't. I think it's horrible when people do that, because when people just see, obviously there are no copyright laws in China, and so you can basically get anything made. And this was before I kind of really was completely, and I mean completely, aware of the whole art theft thing. And I kind of turned a blind eye, and I feel so bad about that. I mean, now I just feel horrid knowing, and sick knowing, that I have images that will mean Mandy will not get paid for. But if a friend, say, wants it done, then I will do it, but I just won't show it on my channel or on my Instagram, because I would rather pay an artist for their work than see a canvas that I want, see a design I want, and not pay an artist for their work. I just think it's wrong. And you know, some people are aware of this whole copyright thing. I know quite a few of the factories in China are most likely aware, but because of their culture, I hate saying this, but I really hate saying this. Oh, this is hard for me to say, but it's like they don't care exactly. Oh, I feel so horrible saying that. They don't care, but in a really horrible way, it's true. They just want to make a quick buck, and yeah. So that is my stance on copyrighted images. I just won't show them. I've actually got some, what's her name? I think it's Lisa Parker, something like that. The one that does kind of the occult gothic cats. I've got some of her work as a custom, so those might possibly go on my Instagram, but they won't go up on my channel. I haven't decided. But yeah, so I'm gonna just now steer clear of that can of worms, because yeah, there are going to be, I know that the issue of artists being paid for their work has struck a nerve with some diamond painters, and they're like, oh, if I want an image, I'm going to get it anyway. And we just shouldn't be thinking like that. If you see an image and you know it's done by an artist that's licensed to somebody else, please don't buy it. Contact either the artist or the company that licenses the painting. Let them know where you found it, and just let them deal with it. I mean, yeah, we can't take every company that does this down, but if we can at least try and help the problem, then we can be part of the solution. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up about that, because I know I'm probably gonna have people in the comments disagreeing with me, saying that I'm wrong, and you know, that's their opinion. Someday I will go into the whole copyright thing. So I have Daughter of Honor from Diamond Art Club, which is Mulan, and I've also got it, and I also got it from AliExpress. That one I hate saying, but I bought that one knowingly, because I didn't think Diamond Art Club were going to bring it back, and I wanted that image so much, and then they brought it back, so I bought the licensed image, and I'm going to actually ask Mandy if I can do a video on the channel by comparing the picture from AliExpress that I got to the genuine article. And yeah, so if there is anything copyright, then just know that it will have been from permission of the artist. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up about that now, because, you know I've probably hurt some people by airing my views on the whole copyright situation. Sorry, Owen is still messing about. Well, he's still wandering about and making a lot of noise, as you can hear. Thing is, because he's older, he can run about a lot longer than he used to before he gets cold, and I have to put him back. He hasn't been out for a while, so he is, so I'm just gonna let him enjoy himself. Anyway, so now got off that topic. So, how many countries have you been to? So I have been to 7 countries. I've been to Scotland. I went to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival a couple of years ago. And that's where I discovered probably one of my favourite musicals, Six. Which, for those of you who don't know what Six is, it's basically 6 Wives of Henry VIII meet the Spice Girls, and it's a whole load of fun. And I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. That makes sense. Sorry, I was just seeing a big gap and was a little bit confused to why there was a gap there. Anyway, sorted that out. Right, so as I say, I went to the Fringe and saw Six the musical there. I have been to Wales twice. Once when I was very little. I don't actually really remember that. And then the second time we went to Cardiff. So that was fun. That was really fun going to Cardiff, because we did go to the Doctor Who exhibition. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I've been to South Africa twice. So the first time it was for the Girl Guiding 100 years, celebrating the 100 years of Girl Guiding. And they did all these trips, and my Auntie Diana, she has brownies, and she gave me the catalogue and said, yeah, whichever trip you want to go on, I'll pay for you. And I picked the one that said Ultimate Botswana, because of course, love animals, and I'd always wanted to go to Africa. That caused a argument between me and Robin. Oh my gosh, we didn't speak to each other for a couple of days after that. That was one of our biggest bust-ups, I would say. But yeah, we are. But you know, like I said, we're good now. And so I picked the Ultimate Botswana one. And I got on the second trip, which was brilliant, and I was very, very, very happy. So basically, our 10 days, it started in Johannesburg, which is the largest city in South Africa. And also the year before, the World Cup had been held there. Sorry about that, my alarm went off. I was going to have a nap before I recorded it, but I couldn't get sleep, so I decided to record this WIP and chat, or my stitch and chat, or whatever you want to call it. But the World Cup was held, the was held in South Africa. One of the main places was Botswana. That's where the final took place in South Africa. It took place in Johannesburg. And then after we spent, I think it was 1 day or 2 days. I think it was 1 day. I think it was a day and a half. Yeah, a day and a half. We spent in Botswana. We spent in South Africa. Second time I went, we went to me and my mum, we went to Cape Town, and we did a safari, and it was magical. On our last day, we got to see a leopard in the wild. So that was a thrill, knowing that I've seen a leopard in the wild. So yeah, that was it. So then next country, Botswana. As I've already said, I have been to Botswana, and it was great. So we went to the Okavango Delta, and we spent 3 days in the Delta, and we saw hippo, we saw elephants. I mean, there are so many elephants in the Okavango. You got elephanted out. The amount of elephants that you saw. And giraffe as well. There are a lot of giraffe. But mind you, it is Africa, so you're going to see a lot of elephants and giraffes. And then our final place that we went to on that 10-day expedition was Zambia. And we saw Victoria Falls. And that's really special to me because I did my Girl Guiding promise there. Well, it wasn't my Girl Guiding, it was my Ranger promise. I did it at Victoria Falls. So yeah, that was very special. I would love to go back to Victoria Falls at some point, but the original plan for Victoria Falls, was we were going to go to Zimbabwe and see them on that side. But we had to go to Zambia because there was a lot of political unrest going on in Zimbabwe at that time. So that wouldn't have been safe for us to go. For Africa, I've also been to Germany. That was a coach holiday. Oh, that was probably one of the worst things that we've done as a family. Even my mum hated it because my dad, he is disabled, and he thought it'd be a great idea. We all did, actually. We all thought it'd be an interesting idea to do this coach trip to Germany. And yeah, it was not very fun. You spent most of the day traveling to get to the place, and then you have 2 or 3 hours walking around, seeing the area. It was just bad. Oh no, I lie. I've been to 8 countries. Obviously, I've been to France quite a few times. We've got Disneyland Paris over there, and so I've been there quite a few times. And then also been to America twice. So first time was our family holiday to Orlando, where we did Disney World and Discovery Cove and everything. We've also done did with my mum for my 21st. We went to LA. I've been to LA. So that was a very fun trip. I enjoyed LA. So did my mum. My mum actually enjoyed it more than she thought. She thought she wasn't going to enjoy LA, but no, my mum really, really enjoyed LA. So that was a good thing. How old do you think you'll be when you get married? Hopefully no older than 27, because I want to kind of start having kids in my late 20s, and I don't want to have any kids outside of marriage. That's just me. Call me old-fashioned, but that's just who I am. I prefer that. So yeah. Next question. How old were you when you found out Santa wasn't real? So I was older when I found out about Santa. I want to say I was 12 to 13. I was in that age bracket, as it were. So yeah, I was a little bit older when I found out about Santa, and how I found out was my mum had bought this magnetic badge, and I'd seen it in their room and then it turned up in my stocking. So that's how I figured out Santa wasn't real. How old were you when you learnt to ride a bike? Again, I was older when I learnt to ride a bike because I have dyspraxia. And dyspraxia, for anyone who doesn't know, is a hand-eye coordination disability. So I find it hard to do things like eat with a knife and fork. And to some people, that's probably, you're thinking, what? You find it hard to eat with a knife and fork? So I tend to really just eat with a fork. That is who I am, and that is how I get on with life. So also wrapping gifts is a nightmare for me. You can always tell if you get a gift from me. It's always terribly wrapped. So yeah, I was about 10. Yeah, I would have been actually 10 or 11, because I was in year 6 when I learnt to ride my bike without stabilizers. Yeah, so that's a thing. So have you ever broken a bone? Yes. Oh yeah, I have broken a couple of bones. So I broke my middle finger on my left hand, the very top. Yeah, no, it would have been. I broke the very top of my middle finger, the left one, under a bowling ball. Yeah, under a bowling ball. So that was fun. I still managed to win the game though. It was a friend's birthday party, if I remember correctly. But like I say, I still managed to win the game. So there we go. Silver lining. I have hairline fractured in my right big toe. And this was when I was working at a well-known holiday park in the UK. And it wasn't allowed to heal properly. So I still, every now and again, I have issues with my foot, especially if it gets cold. I find that my foot swells up a lot more. I have also broken on my right, I hairline fractured the joint in this finger. I've also hairline fractured a rib. That was painful. But it's funny how I did it. I did it on stage, actually. So we were doing a scene. We were doing a melodrama, and the person that was playing my husband, he left me. They get back together at the end. Spoiler alert. And I have a friend called Peter, and he was playing my husband's brother, and he had something on his shoes, and they were really slippy because we'd had a few accidents in rehearsal where we nearly kind of had an accident. Opening night, we're at that scene where her husband's leaving, and I do my feint, which is what I'm meant to do. So I do my fall for him to catch me, but he catches me late, and then his shoe slips. So I hit the stage. So he hit the stage. My rib hit his shoe, and oh, the pain. I went to the doctors the next day, and they said, yeah, you've hairline fractured. I was like, oh, darn it. So that was fun. Very hard to breathe. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I've popped a massive knot. There we go. Got it out now. Just checking I'm still in shot. Good. So, yeah, those are all the bones I've broken. Right. This is the last question. And it is, have you read any of the Harry Potter, Hunger Games, or Twilight series? And if so, what was your favourite? So, I've read 2 out of 3. I haven't read Hunger Games, but I've read Harry Potter and Twilight. Oh, God. Out of the 2 I've read, I would definitely have to say that Harry Potter is my favourite. So, I have dyslexia, which means it's hard for me to read, and letters get jumbled up, etc., etc. Dyslexia and dyspraxia often go hand in hand, so it's not really a, big issue, but, that happens, things happen, and that just happens to be one of the things that happened to me. So when I was younger and I had baths, I used to have a lot of my books read to me. I had Twilight read to me, I had Harry Potter read to me, and I've read them myself as well. And I did try and read the Twilight books when I was older, and I thought, oh my gosh, what a load of drivel. I did not enjoy the writing. So yeah, out of Twilight and Harry Potter is definitely my favourite. Have I got any more questions? No, that is it. So thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button, comment and subscribe. If you have any criticism for me, please let it be constructive. And yeah, I will see you all later.